So when you're setting up your first Google Ads campaign, you may have noticed that Google really nudges you to start using a Performance Max campaign type right off the bat. But is that really the smartest move for your service business? Or could it actually be costing you leads and just wasting your budget? That's what we're gonna get into today, a full breakdown of Performance Max versus search ads. So by the end of this video, you'll have a clear answer to 3 big questions that most service businesses ask when it first comes to Google Ads. First, what's the real difference between search campaigns and Performance Max campaigns? Second, what are the pros and cons of each, especially when it comes to getting leads? And most importantly, which one should you be focusing on for your business? So if you've ever felt like Google's recommendations are a little too vague or maybe even too broad for your business, this is the video that's going to give you clarity, confidence, and a clear next step on how you should proceed. So let's start here. Running Google Ads without knowing the differences between campaign types or which one you should be using is kind of like using your GPS without choosing a destination. Sure, it'll take you somewhere, but probably not where you wanted to go. So let's fix that. Let's start with what's probably more familiar, the search campaign. Search campaigns are the traditional tried and true ad format that most people think of when they think Google Ads. You choose the keywords that you want your ad to show up for, like emergency plumber Chicago or wedding photographer in Atlanta, and then Google shows your ad when someone types those kinds of things into the Google search bar. You have control over which keywords to target, the ad copy, the location, all of it. As much control as you can get with Google Ads, it's from a search ad. And your ads only show when someone is actively searching. So that's a pretty big deal, especially if you are a service business with a smaller budget. You want every click to count. And that's why search is so great for lead generation. It's high intent based since people are actively looking for what you offer. So let's flip over to Performance Max. Performance Max is kind of like telling Google, here's all my stuff, now go find my people. So you upload your video, your images, a few headlines, description, and Google decides where and how to show it. So your ad can appear across everything that Google owns: YouTube, Gmail, Google Maps, the Discovery Network, regular search, and the Display Network. Even on third-party websites and apps like the Weather Network. It is more automated and broader than the search campaign, so you don't get as much say over the keywords or where your ads show up. Let's compare the pros and cons of each, starting with search. Here's what's so great about search. It is highly targeted, or as targeted as you can get with Google Ads. You're going after people who are actively searching for your services. It is budget friendly and efficient when done right, and it's perfect for small or local service businesses with a smaller budget. But there are some downsides as well. There is a huge learning curve. It is not just set it and forget it. You do need to optimize, to check in, and change things over time. And yeah, if you're new to Google Ads, it can definitely feel overwhelming at first with the sheer amount of data that you have access to. So let's do the same with Performance Max. The pros of Performance Max. It's super easy to get set up. It is very user-friendly. You can get massive reach and visibility with it because your ads are shown across all platforms. It can work for general brand awareness, but it can also work for leads. But here's kind of where they fall short. It's not as targeted as a search campaign can be, so you might waste budget on placements or keywords that don't actually convert or aren't relevant to your service. And honestly, if you are laser focused on leads, bottom of funnel, high intent type of leads, and you want people to book now, Performance Max may not be the greatest thing to start with. So now the big question, which one should you use? If you're a service-based business and your goal is leads, not just clicks or views, I would go with search. Performance Max can be useful, but only after you've maxed out your search strategy and you're ready to layer in other campaigns. Performance Max works really well after a search campaign has already been running for a period of time and Google's algorithm already knows what your business is and who your clients are. Search campaigns do give you the most control that you can have with Google Ads, the highest intent, and the best shot at getting a return on your ad spend. But if you have been running Google Ads for a while and your account has some data and you're trying to scale your account and reach new people and new conversions, Performance Max is a great option. So if you're new to running Google Ads or just starting up your account, or you are working with a smaller budget, start with search campaigns. But then the next big question is how? Well, I've got you covered. I put together a full step-by-step walkthrough showing you exactly how to set up a high converting search campaign for leads, even if you've never run one before. So click here to watch that one next. And by the end of that video, you'll have your ads up and running and ready to bring in pre-qualified leads. Because knowing which campaign to use is just the first step, but setting it up the right way is what is going to get you results. So I'll see you over there.